try to like, oh, I try to like accommodate for that whenever I make them now, because that's been so annoying recently. Yeah. Do you have the CPAC presentation?
My name's up here, so I guess I belong here.
CPAC.
Yeah.
Call this meeting to order. It is a 5:07 p.m. This is the September 27, 2023 regular meeting of the Schertz Capital Improvement Advisory Committee. Item number 1 was called order. Item number 2 is seat and alternate. We have Commissioner Craig joining us this evening. Item number 3, hearing of residents. Anybody? Anything sent? Nope. Nobody. Not important. Okay. Item 4 is a public hearing. 4A, hold a public hearing, consider and file the semi-annual report evaluating the progress of the city on achieving the capital improvements program and identifying any problems in implementing the plans or administering the capital recovery fees. Kathy?
Good evening, folks. Kathy Woodley, City Engineer. This is once again a bit tardy for a report. It's covering the period from, I want to make sure I say it properly, October 1st, 2022 through March 31st of 2023. So it's the first half of the fiscal year that we're currently nearing the end of. So we should have another one of these in just a couple months to cover the second half. So the information is, as far as numbers, is somewhat out of date. We're still working on the same projects, though, that I will talk about briefly. I did put at each of your places some corrected sheets. We had a question that caused me to dig a little deeper into one of the numbers and found that there was, in fact, a charge made incorrectly to one of the accounts, and that is being fixed. So it's noted on both the summary report of the projects and expenses, and then it was corrected on the actual report of the dollars and the fees themselves, the accounting sheet. So I'll just run through the projects briefly, and then you all can certainly ask any questions at all. So we do actually have expenses and activity in each of the capital recovery funds, water, sewer, and roadway. So for water, we have been working to a certain extent on the Corbett ground storage tank. In the first half of the year, we were finishing up the design and we bid the project. We have been delayed in actually getting construction moving because we are funding part of this project with a grant that we were awarded through Senator Cuellar's office, and that grant came with unknown stipulations that we've been trying to work through. So we've been working with the contractor to do as much as they can do without going up against the grant requirements that we may or may not have to meet, specifically about some Buy American, Build American, and AIS, American Iron and Steel provisions. So hopefully we will get some resolution on that soon and be able to get things moving in the field to get that tank constructed. We're also continuing to work on the citywide water and wastewater master plan and impact fee study update. So we had some professional services for that, and we're also in the design process, and we're still in the design process and working to acquire easements for some distribution and loop lines in the lower portion, or in the southern portion of Seguin, between Ware Seguin and Lower Seguin, and Graytown to file. For sewer, we've got our Woman Hollering Creek wastewater project. It's taken much longer than expected, but we are getting close to the end. So that's been underway all year. We do expect it to be complete in December. We're still waiting for some electrical components that have been delayed because of supply chain issues. That's somewhat out of our control, but almost daily we get updates that things are still on track. So I also have on here the master plan. The charges for those are split between water and wastewater. As far as roadway impact fees, we're continuing to collect those. This is where there was a correction the expenses that we used in Service Area 1 for landscaping the medians of Cibolo Valley Drive was limited to $88,172.99. There was a change order for the construction project, the contract for that, about $16,000, that was to be taken out of the general fund contingencies, not out of roadway impact fund contingencies, and it was accidentally taken out of the wrong one. So it is being corrected. There was council authorization to expend the $88,000. In Service Area 2, we have the ongoing reimbursement to the developer for the construction that they did of that segment of Rips Chrysler Drive between Baptist Health and the Cibolo city limits. So for that one, we're paying, I believe, a third or 30% of what we collect during the calendar year in that service area. We're paying to the developer until we meet the full reimbursement. So we're down to a little over 200,000 remaining. So if we continue at essentially the same rate, that should be paid off within 2 more years. And we had no expenses in service areas 3 and 4. So that is our report. We've got the financial to back it up, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Kathy. This is a public hearing. It is now 5:14. I'll open this for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the committee on this topic is welcome to step forward. There's the usual stampede. Anybody? Nobody. All right. I wish the clock would turn over, but anyway, it is still 5:14. And the public hearing, the public input section is closed. All right. It's up to the committee now. Questions, comments? Just an interest question, Kathy. Area 2, I see the ending unallocated impact fee balance is more than twice what we still owe on that, on Rips Chrysler. Is it just, we're only required to make minimum payments, so that's what we're doing? Okay.
Correct. I don't believe there's any interest being charged.
So there's really no incentive to pay it off early? Okay.
Right.
Is this, oh, hi. So you said the grant had stipulations. Do you know what they were, just out of curiosity?
So we did not know what they were when we started the project. Mm-hmm. We've since learned that 2 of them are challenges for us, and that is that we do the project adhering to the what's called BABA, the Buy American, Build American Act, and American Iron and Steel Act. And this project does have quite a bit of steel in it, so it's a pretty significant, it's about a $500,000 difference between the 2. So we have applied for a waiver from needing to meet those requirements because we bid the project prior to those rules being imposed on the grant. So the simple way to think of it is the grant was rolled out, it was awarded, allocated, earmarked. I may not be using the correct technical legal term, but it was done prematurely. So we understood that we had the grant, and they said, go ahead, go get ready to spend the money. But then when we get into the details, oh, wait, you were supposed to do it, we were supposed to bid with those requirements in place. We didn't bid it that way. So we requested grants. Our folks at the EPA that we talk with indicate they feel confident those waivers will be granted, but they haven't been yet. So we're trying to find a way to keep moving without having to scrap everything we've done and rebid the project.
What is the time frame, do you think, for finding out?
We have no idea. So we have looked at putting a change order in to go ahead and meet those requirements and know that it may turn out that we didn't need to, We've been told that's not acceptable. We are trying to contact the congressman's office to discuss this with him. There's another option for us to request to use the funds on a different project. So those are all things that we're working on, and I'm hopeful within a month or so we'll have a decision on which way we're going to go.
Kathy, do you have an expectation when we might see the not the comp plan, the capital improvements plan update, and get a chance to discuss impact fees?
Yes, so we're at the tail end of finalizing the master plan, which includes all the capital improvement projects that will be factored into the impact fee update. Mm-hmm. And so I would anticipate that process to start with all the meeting of this group to make recommendations for adopting a new maximum rate and also recommending an actual rate to set for those things. The tail end of this year, the beginning of next year, and that's the one where we have to go through notifying so many days prior to public hearings, setting a date for a public hearing, and then waiting 60 days but not longer than 30 days, and it's kind of some gymnastics with meeting schedules. But and because of the end of the year being weird with limited meetings and different schedules than usual,
And the comp plan update.
And the comp plan update is in there as well. So there's a lot that's going to be coming together very close to the same period of time. But I would think most likely those meetings will begin shortly after the first of the year.
Okay.
And real quick, Kathy, because we have some new members, could you give us, describe the 4 different areas roughly for the roadway impact fees?
Sure. I wish do we have, it's just on the internet? Can we pull up Google Earth? Oh, you know what's better? It's better, sorry.
Well, all I had in
You were
mind
thinking
was
just as
Area 1 is,
Okay.
yeah.
Think of the city of Schertz, the far northeastern portion of the city, up around Parklands, Cypress Point, that's Service Area 1. Service Area 2 runs along 35 and gets HEB and, over to Selma and starts sort of toward the south. Service Area 3 is the center of town I really wish I had a map. It's really
Well,
hard to describe.
You're doing all right.
Service Area 3 has the biggest portion of the southern part of Schertz, and Service Area 4 is very small. It's over on the way to 1604 along I-10. It's a very, very small area.
Far southwestern corner.
Right,
yes.
far southwestern corner.
All right, thank you. Anybody have anything else? If not, can I get a motion to approve the report as submitted?
And before you do, is there any need, and I apologize if I'm out of line, but is there a need to acknowledge that it's the report as corrected?
Okay, so looking for a motion to approve the corrected report as presented this evening. Okay.
Thanks.
I make a motion to approve as corrected the report presented this evening.
I second.
Is that Dr. Pensar?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion and a second to approve the capital recovery report for the first half of FY23 as submitted and reported this evening. The electronic voting system is not set up for this committee, so I'll call for a voice vote starting at the far end.
Aye.
Since I didn't hear the beginning of the report, I'm going to abstain.
All right.
Aye.
Aye. So let's see. 6 ayes, 1 abstention, and none opposed. So that motion passes. Thank you.
Just for clarification, if I may, so it's the abstention counts as a negative vote, so it's 6 in favor, 1 against.
No. I don't have any, I have not seen the bylaws for this group. The current bylaws for the Planning and Zoning Commission, I thought it mirrored city council, but it doesn't. Planning and zoning, unless you have a legal reason to abstain, you must vote yea or nay. You cannot abstain.
Right.
But this is not the Planning
So
and
we
Zoning
can clarify
Commission.
with the city attorney, his general interpretation, just for what it's been, we'll get it for you and we can report back next meeting, is an abstention without a basis to recuse oneself is a negative vote. Just
Again,
not a big deal.
Well, maybe that's the default. As I said, I don't find any bylaws that say how this group works.
Yes, there would not be. Again,
so-
it's a board governed by state law, and
Yeah.
again, all the things that play into it. So we'll get you a written
Okay.
memo from him next time.
And you didn't miss that much, Patrick.
Okay,
really.
okay, then
But No,
I vote in favor.
no, we're done.
Okay.
No, I recorded the vote. We'll let the staff work it out, okay? So, if it were going to make a difference, then I would say let's, or somebody can make a motion to vote again, I suppose. Can they, Brian? You think? If Commissioner Patrick McMaster wants to change his vote, could he make a motion to reconsider? Yeah, if you want to, just make a motion to reconsider the item.
I'd make a motion to reconsider the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And I have a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And aye. So that's 7 in favor. So we have a motion approved to reconsider. So we're back to, would someone like to make a motion to approve the report as corrected and submitted this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve the report as corrected this evening.
A second?
I second.
Second from Ms. Goldick. All right, any other discussion? All right, we'll take a vote again.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, so we have now 7 in favor and none opposed to the report as submitted. I love technicalities, okay. All right, that's item 4. Item 5 is adjournment. It is 5:26 p.m. Thank you all.